Yo, what's up everybody, welcome to a new video. My name is Midway and today we're checking out Legend of Elements, a new game by the creators of Legend of Mushroom, and you can expect to find pretty much the same set of systems in a brand new format. As you can see, the graphics are totally different and the feeling of the game is just as different, right? We have the camera here, we can pan in and out. And we're going to be clearing waves of enemies, clearing stages by stages until we get to the boss, right? So the core gameplay is what you can expect out of Legend of Mushroom. Now, it's a new interpretation on the same sort of system. So you would have your gearing, you would have your skills, you would have your balls, which you can have 3 of instead of 5, as you can have in Legend of Mushroom if it's not 6 at this point. I totally forgot right away. But anyways, it is quite a very fun game, not gonna lie. The whole progression system is very fast-paced, as you can expect from these kind of games, and as soon as you start, you're going to be showered with rewards right away. There's a lot of login rewards, a lot of new player incentives. We're going to be going over the codes as well in further videos. For now, let's go ahead and check out the most important things of this game. Let's go. The first thing you'll need to do is to pick a class. There's of course going to be the 3 classics, which are Warrior, Sorcerer. In this case, instead of Legend of Mushroom, where you have the Archer, you're going to be finding the Swordsman. Now, what's the difference between the Warrior and the Swordsman? I cannot really tell you so far. I can at least see that the Warrior is a furry and the Swordsman at least is just a normal guy, right? So you have the male and female versions, of course, as well as here you have a bald Sorcerer, pretty interesting choice if you go for that. And then there is all the aspects here for all the different classes, right? You will be able to switch between them whenever you want. Of course, there's going to be a little bit of a cost to it. But with any game like Legend of Mushroom, you are going to be free able to do so without much of a cost. So in the main menu, you can zoom in and out, you can see the battle a little bit closer, but of course it's going to be auto battling, going through all the waves. You're going to be finding your gearing system over here, where you're going to be feeding the, whatever you call this guy. It's a little bit of a tortoise, but it's pretty much the lamp genie in Legend of Mushroom. Instead of that, you're going to be having to click this manually, at least for a little while. You can hold it so it goes a little bit faster and you spend some resources, and over time it's going to be crafting your gear, which you're going to be able to really easily switch away for the better one, right? So you can see I got a little bit of better gear and I can turn into dust whatever is a little bit worse. We also have ourselves a little bit more of an upgrade system right here with some more refining of particular pieces, enhancing all the different slots for like an overall level up for all the different pieces. Pretty standard on all these gacha idle games. We also have our skill system where you're going to be able to get extra skills over time. It is also another gacha system on its own where you pull out some skills and some skill shards which you use to level them up in time, right? So you have your main skill here, which is going to be determined by the class that you pick, right? So we can go ahead and level that up for a little bit, and there we go. We get ourselves a little bit of a boost. As you level it up, it's going to be also getting some extra milestones together with just getting some more power. So far, I only have 1 main skill. Now, we also have other active skills, just like in Legend of Mushroom. We have 3 of those, and then we have passive skills, right? In Legend of Mushroom, it would be all passives. In this game, you can actually use them manually, although of course you're going to be putting them on auto mode, and that is going to be it, right? Most of the time, that's what's going to happen. I do not know if there is skill delays, just like in Legend of Mushroom. There will probably be, but you have presets over here and such, right? So it is going to be pretty much a build making game. Now, we have what I call our balls, I guess, the version of balls of this game, although they are called spirits, right? So if we go over here to the loadout, you can see spirit loadout. You can have a total of 5 eventually. So far, I only have 3, and I do not know how you access the last 2 right here, right? I have no clue so far, but it is a system where the pals, they of course don't really do much, just like in Legend of Mushroom. They will have effects to them, right? They will have some skills which will be having some effects, right? So you can count on a little bit of extra damage, and then some other stuff which is going to be increasing your own stats as a player, which is probably what you're going to be counting the most on. There is of course appearances to them. I guess they'll probably be able to be like buying skins for them and stuff like that, whatever, if you really are into that stuff. But anyways, you can upgrade the skills, you can also just level them up and such. So it is a little bit more intricate than just normal pulse. It is a little bit of an evolution from what you would have in Legend of Mushroom instead of this. In regards to gameplay, again, it's pretty much Legend of Mushroom. You have your main campaign, you click on that stuff and you are sent to do the next thing in the order, right? So either clear this stage or clear this dungeon. Talking about dungeons, for example, we have a bunch of them right here in what's called the gameplay section, where you have your regular dungeons you could find in Legend of Mushroom as well, right? So you have your crafting realm, which is like your lamp genie kind of dungeon, where you get yourself some gear crafting materials. You just just clear some waves, and it's going to be giving you straight up just those materials. It is pretty challenging in the fact that it's going to be requiring you to get a lot of DPS, and very quickly you're going to be getting stuck right here for a couple days even. I've been like stuck in this level for like 2 days. It requires you to actually pull out quite some insane numbers right here. As you can see, you need to be killing 48 monsters in 30 seconds. But anyways, it's probably something you can make a build for, and that is something that I still have yet to explore, how deep you can do with the build customization, what is a stronger classes, of course. Everybody's going to be looking for that. For now, I'll tell you the strongest thing you can do is just put money into the game, which by the way, you can do so through Aptoide. Anyways, my Aptoide code is going to be somewhere up here, as well as a download link down there. So if you're interested in this game so far, go ahead and check it out real quick. Now, anyways, we got our mount system as well, where we have a dungeon for it, where you kill a boss and you get some mount upgrading materials. You have trial towers, which give you materials for the gacha, where you actually unlock new skills. There's the arena, where you get some resources. Not really sure what those resources are going to be used for just yet. And then you have some bossing, where you get some summoning materials for the pals, let's just call them that. I'm not sure if these ones are gear, and then this one is a little bit of a mix of just random stuff, right? So you have daily caps to some things, and others, I think it might be a weekly cap, still not sure. I'm just unlocking this stuff as we go, right? So then you also have some daily quests in what's called the capital, which you can go to, and it's basically just a little bit of a city, which simulates what would be an MMO game, right? It's by no means an MMO, but you can see people logged in there. You're going to be auto-pathing through it and like getting to a quest. You can choose the quest, and then it's going to be auto-pathing to the next one. It's basically going to be getting it automatically done, but it's kind of cool. So you can see a little bit of a bustling city in this game, which is usually just like a single screen, which moves on from one to another as you progress through the stages, and it gets pretty dull real quick. In this case, well, you see a little bit more scenery to it, and it's a little bit more of a visual spectacle. You can move between the city and the stages up here, clicking on the minimap. There's a little icon, which is pretty hard to see. It took me a little while to figure it out, but anyways, you can just move through the two screens real quick that way. Now, there is also what is called the garrison or Legend of Mushroom, which is here, in this case, the manor. There are some systems which over time is going to be giving you some passive income of different kinds of resources. You can just go ahead and set up your pals, and that's, again, just calling them that because that's pretty much what they are. Just putting them into different bases, and they're going to be giving you some extra chances or output of whatever resource you're getting out of there, right? So if we go into this is where you actually find your gachas, right? So over here we have the gacha for the, what you call the pals. Once again, let's just see what it looks like, right? So there we go. You pull a couple of those, and you can skip the cutscene, so it's a little bit quicker. And then you can, of course, spend your gems. In this case, whatever they are, they look a little bit more like they're called magites or whatever, right? So you can spend some of that to get some extra chances. There is some daily summons which are free and stuff, and then we of course also have our skill summons, which is a separate kind of gacha, as I already mentioned, right? You just pull them all, again, it's just like temples. There we go, we spend a little bit of gems, and there we go. You can get some skill shards, some new skills which you didn't have before, and then you can also have like higher tier versions of the same skill, which allows you to enhance it to a point where it just like evolves a little bit extra, right? It's a two-phase sort of evolving in this kind of game. Now, there is also extra things here which I kind of really haven't checked out. We have a bit of an affinity system here where you just get like extra stats out of using probably one of those spells, or just like flat stats in general. We also have our little mini garden here, just planting some resources and getting them out of there, just like pretty standard for Legend of Mushroom. And then right here we have our own little clan hall, which is just like what you can gather and check out who else is in the guild and whatever you call it, the clan. You have some quests, you have some ranking up stuff, you can of course donate, you have a little bit of your daily life to be done here, but it's pretty much what you can expect out of these systems, right? Like log in, do the daily dungeon, do the daily just like donate a couple times. You will have some extra resources to gather from it every now and then, and there will be some dungeon events together with your clan, right? So over here you have the clan trials, which you can go and do daily, or whatever, the clan showdown, which is going to be something that it takes place at a certain point in time every day, right? So again, pretty much copy paste from Legend of Mushroom with a different feel to it. And last but not least, to mention that a lot of the gameplay here focuses on dungeons, right? While you're going to be clearing stages normally, you also have the little team icon right here where you can search other people looking for extra players for whatever they are doing, right? So you're going to be having these daily chances at doing certain dungeons, and you will want to be doing them together with allies. So you're going to be depending on your server actually being active. So let me just go ahead and apply to these teams, and you join into whatever this person is going to be doing, right? So you're going to be just waiting for them to actually initiate the dungeon, or you build their own team, and then then invite a lot of people, or just wait for a little bit and they'll be joined into it, and you can start doing the thing. The game is definitely worth checking out if you enjoy Legend of Mushroom, so if you're in here for the long run, please go ahead and drop a like and follow. Also, check out Legend of Mushroom more, and anyways, check out the links below if you're going to be using Aptoide for this. You're going to be getting extra value for your money if you do download the game through Aptoide and play it. You're going to be able to get up to 35% extra any amount of money you're going to be spending into this game as you accumulate more and more bonuses, alright? Anyways, hopefully go ahead and use my code. It's really going to be helping me out if you do so, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. See you, everybody.